Right, good afternoon people of YouTubes. As you can see, we're missing something from the back of the car. So I've decided to make the first job is removing the engine. So I'm now doing a video on that. But I also wanted to do a fuel pump assembly on it. So I think I'll just put this in as a extra video just to fill in some spaces while I filmed this one. So in the last video you'll see me removing the fuel pump. I didn't show too much of that, but I'll sort of like walk you through it. So it's going to be a bit different to a normal F, because obviously this is a race car. But once you've got your 5 clips unclipped, you can then pull the roof up. And I normally use a bungee cord from the roof to like the passenger mirror or something, just to hold it up. Or if you've got a windbreak, sometimes you can put the windbreak to it and move, keep the roof up that way. You'll then have to get rid of the carpet and the sound deadening. That just pulls out. And then you've got the panel, parcel shelf panel, or the engine bay access panel, with a load of 10 mils around the top. And then you get presented with this. Obviously if you're in a standard road car, you'll have a speaker bar or a headrest bar in the way, but you can still get access. And then you got 4 10 mils, and then this plate just comes off, and then you have the top of the fuel tank here. On the fuel pump itself, or the assembly, you've got two pipes, return and a feed, and these are just, you push in that bit there, and then you can pull the pipe off. You've got an electrical connector, which is this one here, and then you've got a breather pipe, if I can get you into this one here, which has just got a spring clip on it. Once all that is out of the way, you then have this little collar thing, which is basically just screwed onto the tank, and that holds the assembly in place. So what I normally do is I get a blunt chisel or blunt screwdriver and just whack it with a hammer, and then just against these little tabs here, and then you can then unscrew it off the tank, and then the whole assembly come out the top. Right, let's get to the bench and I'll show you what that assembly looks like. Right, so this is the fuel tank sender unit assembly that houses the pump in the bottom half here, and obviously you've got the level sensor here. And yeah, and these are the connectors on top of here. You obviously got a band on here to show you which one is the high pressure or the outlet from the pump. That's that little spring clip I was telling you about for that breather. So yeah, relatively simple, and they just pull out. You just got to be a bit mindful when pulling that out, that you don't damage or bend this. So yeah, I'll get you set up, and then I'll tell you how to take it apart and replace the fuel pump. You can't get these anymore as an assembly. You have to buy a repair kit, and I'll go through that repair kit with you once we get it all apart. Right, first and foremost, this pipe here, do not try and reuse that. It is going to cause you more problems than what it's worth. Yeah, you'll end up with air leaks where it's not seated correctly, and that'll actually suck up air rather than push fuel out. So on the bottom here, just cut that out. You can see it's still full of fuel. And then hopefully, if I've cut it right down to the bottom, that will just pop off. These get so brittle because they're only plastic pipe. Let's get this electrical connector out of the way first. We are going to have to change this, I believe, to another one comes with a kit. And then at the top here, if I can get you down low enough, there's like a little metal band there which we need to get off to get the top bit off. Just be a little bit careful not to break the plastic inner part. And again, we can just get rid of that. Is that plastic? Oh, it is metal pipe. But yeah, just try and be careful because that is just in a plastic housing. So that pipe is off. The electrical connector is off. So we can now push these tabs in to release the top half of the bottom half. I think I need a couple of little screwdrivers. And that is that. Just again, be careful of this pipe. You don't need to remove that, but if you do, then you'll have to replace it. So there's more than enough room to get around and sort that out. And then hopefully, see that's the pump. That will just lift out and you get, and that's what it is basically. Right, so in here you've got a couple of little rubber feet that you've got to try and keep. And also you can see there's a load of crap and stuff in that, so we need to clean that out. And then this is the sock I took off, and then you can see it's just absolutely minging. And this is the old pump, obviously. That's the bottom bit where it sits into on the rubber feet. Pump sits on top, and then you got your little rubber bit on top of there. Right, let's show you the new pump. Right, so this is the pump that we've got. This is straight from Rimmer Brothers. Let's clear a little bit of space. I'll show you what it's got. It's got this long piece of pipe in here, which obviously replace that piece, but we'll need to cut that down. It's got a new sock, got a new electrical connector, and I've already checked this, and that is the same electrical connector of what's on the end of the original pump, so we won't need to solder that in, which is good. A couple of Jubilee clips, but we won't be using these, and a new fuel pump. So let me get you set up, and then we'll go to getting all this back together again. Right, so hopefully we can just pull these bits off. And I have noticed there is slight differences in the pump, as in this bit is slightly bigger and it's barbed, and this bit hasn't got the bit on there. Height wise on the bottom all looks relatively the same, so we can chuck all that back together. Get the bottom bit on, and then we've got the sock bit here. That helps keep this in place. Right, that's a bit on the tight side. You can see the condition of these socks. Look, this is the old one. That's all clogged and horrible. Got our little rubber feet, which needs to go on. Like so, and hopefully if I get this in the right way, don't forget our little top piece here. Whether that'll do anything, I don't know. I think it just helps sandwich it all in place. And that is it, that is in. You just need to be mindful of obviously the pump sitting down into them feet correctly. And then obviously we've got this top bit here which then mounts all in place. But yeah, that's good. And then hopefully this will clip into here. Like that. So we don't need to do any modifications to the wiring, and it is literally just a remove and refit basically. Yeah, so the next thing we need to do is obviously fit this rubber pipe, and I'm going to use the same method as what I did on the oil return pipe or the oil feed pipe from the Metro, and I've got these little nice little crimp ears that I like to use. I just think it makes a better job, to be honest with you. So we can get this pushed into the bottom here. And I have already cut this pipe down to size, to the same dimensions of what the old one was. So even then it looked like it could do with going down a little bit more. I bet I've now put that on there. Won't be able to pull it off now, will I? Not without causing too much damage anyway. There we go. So cut off just another couple of inches. And I just stop it back being too baggy. Right, there we go. Just twist that around a little bit so it doesn't foul the right. There we go. So that's all good. And I just used a little special pliers to nip these ears into place. One. Hopefully I can get to this without unplugging it. I think I am going to have to unplug it. Just want to check to make sure that the red is still the red on that, and they ain't swapped the terminals around on the pump. But that's it. That is the pump replaced. So now what we need to do is get it back into the tank. Right, hopefully you'll be able to see there. You are sort of like in my way, but I'm sure we can manage around you. So again, just being careful of this float. I'll stick that in first and then just wiggle it down into the tank itself, and obviously the rubber seal, need to make sure it's in there nicely as well. never know what's best of these, whether to put the rubber seal in first or put the rubber seal around the sender unit. We'll try the rubber seal in first, shall we? And sometimes you will have to use a little bit of lubricant because they are rubber, and rubber do tend to grow, if only ever so slightly, around petrol. And I'll show you that demonstration in a minute, because I've been soaking a couple of bits of rubber pipe in a can of petrol. And these do sit at a funny angle, they don't go in flat either. Let's try again. Right, again, you want to make sure that you get this on nice and square, because if not you can damage the threads, because they're only plastic threads. Right, again, you don't want to go too mad with that, because you'll end up, again, ripping the threads out. What you can do before you remove it is just mark the red collar to the white body, and that'll give you some sort of reference to where it should be. Yeah. Let's get these pipes back on. Right, so all you need to remember is obviously the orange band goes to the orange pipe. If you haven't got the orange band on there, then obviously just take a photo of it before you take it all apart, and then you've got some sort of idea of how it all goes back together again. Now the last little pipe is this little tank breather. Right, so that's all back together now. These clips are really horrible. I hate them. I really do. I call them the devil clips. So I won't be disappointed if you replace that with a Jubilee clip, to be honest with you, and I wish I would have done. But once they're on, and you ain't going to be taking this off every year, so you know this pump will probably last another 15-20 years, so no reason to be able to or needing to go into this area anymore, unless we upgrade the tank and the pump for something high performance, which again in our series we're not allowed to. So I think the only thing you can do is you can replace the pump with an OE spec pump, which is what we've done. Right, so it's just a case of sticking this plate back on, whacking the 4 10mm bolts back in, and then checking to see if it works. So I might get a cup and get it underneath this little filter pipe here and see if we can get some fuel out of her. Should be able to, with the ECU disconnected, that should still prime the pump, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, hopefully I'm not going to set anything on fire. I've got the obviously start motor disconnected, but the wire is down there, so it's no risk of touching anything. So we'll see if we can get any fuel to prime through. I'm not sure if I can get you in there to view that. No, probably not, but we'll prime it and see what happens. Oh yeah, it's definitely priming. Well, it did anyway, until it cut itself back out again. But as you can see, we've got fuel there, and I don't think I liked it when I first turned it on, because the fan cut in and it cut immediately out again. So there you go. That is that. We'll just turn that safety off for now. Got a nice smell of fuel in there. Plenty of fuel. That is just 2 primes of the key, and obviously most of it went on the floor, but as you can see, more than enough fuel out of that. So hopefully that's solved our issues with the surging. As you can see, this little filter here looked like it's all falling apart and it's not very good anymore, so maybe that was the issue. But just weird how that was like round the corner, and this obviously sits in an anti-surge bowl, which is the bottom of the pump. So yeah, I'm not really too sure what that was. It could have been, like, again, a dodgy wire. You go around a corner, that flicks on and off. But yeah, I mean, everything looks good. I've checked all the wires and all that sort of stuff, so yeah, we can only but try and see. I mean, it could be that the fuel pump was just bad, you know, after so much heat and yeah, probably just started giving up the ghost. But there we go, we've got a new one in now anyway. It's an original OE spec one from Wimmer Brothers, so I'll stick a link to that in the description, just in case that you wanted one. I don't think they're expensive, 70-80 quid I think they are, but again, in the description I will put that in. So this little tub of fuel here, I've put some rubber fuel hose in to see what happens, because I don't like submerging rubber in fuel. But if I take this one out, this is cheap Amazon fuel pipe, and you can see that it's starting to grow on the edges, and it's gone soft on the edges as well. But you know, that's been in this fuel for about 3 days. I'll get a bit of pipe what it used to look like. So this is just 8mm fuel hose, and you can see the difference already to that was new, and this has been sat in fuel for 3 days. Right, now if I take this piece out here, which is the stuff from Rimmer Brothers, and this has been sat in for exactly the same amount of time, and you can see that that is absolutely fine. I'll just get you another piece of the Rimmer Brothers stuff. So yeah, so that looks pretty much the same as that, bar being a little bit wet, and obviously you can see this bit is all distorted and it's grown already. And this is just a fuel pump pipe from Amazon that says it's fuel rated. So yeah, I'm not really too sure if it is or isn't, but that is that. Can't see any writing on this. There's a little bit of writing on there, but yeah, there you go. That's a, thought I said coolant then by my thumb, but no, I don't. Yeah, so use the stuff in the fuel pump box because it's a lot better than the Amazon stuff, as you can see there. Right, and there we have it. That is a nice new fuel pump inside the tank now, and hopefully that will eliminate any fuel pump issues that we might have had which caused the surgeon. Only time will tell when we take it out on its test day before the racing. Hopefully we'll be able to tell then. But yeah, quick little video. Hopefully it's quick. Don't know, I haven't edited yet, but hopefully a quick little video, just as an interim video, while I'm sorting out the video of removing this and getting the engine changed over. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, obviously have a look at our other videos, consider subscribing, and we'll see you in future videos.